So now we're going to do the same method. You're gonna pick one up. And as you can see where our string is now, we're gonna skip a bead. So jump one and go through the second. Pick up one. Look at where your string is, skip one, and go through our second bead. Pick up one, skip one, and go through our next bead. We are going to continue this method all the way around. Okay, so now it's going to look a little wonky like that, but now you're going to skip your bead and go through your next one. Skip a bead and go through the next. Pick up one, skip one, and go through the next. Pick up one.
A couple cups, what do you guys want to drink?
Look at where our string is at. Skip one bead, on to the next. Add one bead. Look at where our string's at. Skip the bead in front of it and on to the next. I'm pulling snugly. Pick up one bead, look at where our string is at, on to the next bead. Pick up one, skip one, and on to our next one. Pick up one, skip one, and pull through. Look at where our string is, skip one, onto our second, and we're going on to our next row now. I'll add one more row of green, then I am going to add our pink beads.
As you go, you'll begin to see the beads that is going to be.
So now what I'm going to do is I am going to begin to add our pink beads. So we're going to add one pink. Same method, we are going to skip our bead, go to our next. You'll begin to see your next bead as you continue to go on, as they're going to be popping up more than the last layer. Skip one, add one, skip one,
So I just don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over because suddenly just pick up one bead, skip one. I can like fast forward it too if you just want to work. I can like, oh okay, yeah, excellent.
As you continue on, you will be able to see the pattern that it's beginning to form. And if you begin to feel more comfortable and confident with this stitch, then you can make any sort of design that you want. I'll probably do some green, and then I'll probably do some pink, then I'll probably do some green again, and continue on until I am happy with the design that I like. It's just the same method over and over again. Pick up one, skip one, and again you can start to see which bead is going to be next as they are slightly poking out. But if you can't remember, just remember where your string is, skip one bead, go through the next. And at the end of your stitching, as you continue to do one by one, it will eventually look up like something like this. And how to end it off, we do not use any knots in this stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack. So to do that, I am going to jump down a couple layers of beads. So I'm just going to go through one bead, and then I'm going to go to the one right next to it, and then I'm going to go through that. So now I am down 2 rows of where I ended, and then I'm going to begin doing the same thing. I'm going to skip one bead and I'm going to pull through, and I'm just going to go through the bead that's straight ahead of me. So we're going to jump those 2 and go to the 1. And we're just going to skip one bead at a time. And as you go through, you just want to pull tight. I normally like to go around my feather again 2 or 3 times to ensure that the string is going to stay in place. Oops. I'm just going to go through these rows of beads 2 or 3 times around, just to ensure that the string is going to stay in the beadwork. I think that's about 2 times now. So now all I'm going to do, take my needle off, I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut the string. So at the end, after we go around, at the end, you'll end up with something like this. And normally what I like to do is we're going to grab our sharp pair of scissors, and we are going to cut our leather straight as best as you can, and we're going to cut straight strips.
I'm going to try to cut as straight as I can.
So at the end, we end up with something like this.